Not really, right? They say God created us. Then can a pot say to the potter, "Why did you make us this way?" It is also written, "I am the will and the fulfillment." But even demons can take over a human being. In the end, whether we are good or evil, as people say, we couldn't even decide that ourselves. Our will and actions are not truly our own. God uses us like puppets in a theater, or like golems. Unless a demon is allowed to use us, because nothing happens unless God allows it. And if something isn't good in the biblical sense, God threatens with hell. All parents are happy when their children turn out like them, usually. But God, who wants to be praised as perfect and infallible, threw Adam and Eve out because they wanted to be like him. Yet he calls himself a better father than human fathers? Human parents usually say, "Try to be better than me," if they discover a weakness in themselves. "My people perish for lack of knowledge," said God about Israel. But Atlantis perished because it had gained knowledge. Solomon is called the wisest man of all time, but in the end, he went mad from the impure spirits that plagued him. Eve could not resist the serpent's temptation, according to the Bible, and Adam could not resist Eve. And for that, they were expelled from Eden. God could not resist Satan when it came to Job. Oops, what now? Throw God out of heaven? Jesus died for the sins of humanity, so that God could forgive. But which is it, forgiven or paid? The Catholic Church follows the Babylonian principle and collects sin offerings after self-incrimination. Double payment. On top of that, the priest says, "Your sins are forgiven," by the authority Jesus gave to his disciples, even though, supposedly, everything was already paid, according to the Bible. One could say that it means forgiveness in front of people, so no more resentment. But that doesn't help you in court, not for Christians, at least. Among Muslims, if the victim writes a letter of forgiveness to the judge, the person goes free. The Bible speaks of the 7 deadly sins, and harsh punishment if someone tries to separate a person from God, by any means. As a warning, there were the plagues in Egypt. The problem is that Satan is allowed to have anyone who hasn't followed God's laws and wasn't forgiven. But Jesus has done that already, and one can simply ask him for that forgiveness, in trust. This caused a loss of income for the Jewish priesthood, so they got rid of Jesus. Catholic priests give us déjà vu. Should we hide Jesus from them now? He might say, "You accepted payment, now reconcile the books with God." Why did God provoke with the tree in Eden? Some say he wanted to test humans. Why? Didn't he know what he has created would work? "My peace I give to you, your peace I leave with you." Well, I don't know what you understand by peace. For me, peace means no war on earth. Because when there's war somewhere, everything becomes more expensive, so weapons can be paid for to kill more fellow humans. And because the dead don't return money, you never get it back. And the arms dealers don't pay reparations. I also don't have peace when I have to pay for medication because someone was bored and started crafting viruses, bacteria, and toxins. Experimenting with viruses in labs is not preparation for immunology. A 3-digit combination lock has 1,000 possible combinations. A virus with DNA has far more than 2-3 ways to mutate. How safe can you keep it? Viruses are nano-sized. Through contact with fog, they can rise and rain down elsewhere into drinking water, food, and more. So they're only good for pandemics, not as targeted weapons. Anyone working on such things is, by Mophu's law, declaring war on God. Famines and shortages. As long as the super-rich live in luxury while others suffer lack, I have no peace. Especially when someone wants to take my money or property in the name of help for those who suffer from their greed. Environmental pollution. I don't mean the natural use of resources. I mean exploitation and waste. Again and again instead of no full recycling. Why does that rob me of peace? Because I have to look at trash in the forest. Because I can't drink from a stream while walking due to possible chemicals. And more. You could rely on the Bible and invoke Mark chapter 16. Then you'd be at war with the entire pharmaceutical industry. Most of the world's population is in debt to banks. Peace is only possible through ignorance. So what if we didn't have to work so much anymore? Oh no, how terrible that would be. After World War II, the UN was founded to resolve conflicts neutrally. Where are they in Ukraine? In Gaza? They are absent because peace is not the goal. Victory is. The people and their belongings are irrelevant. Maleficent and Lord of the Rings portray the greed of political and industrial rulers clearly. Those who want to protect the environment are evil. Those who want to reconcile enemies or give equality to the disadvantaged are evil. Sorry if you feel oppressed when your power to turn us against each other is taken away. But to me that's not evil. Socialism uses professional bans as a tool of dictatorship, even blocking art and education. Capitalism uses private or mass boycotts. They call their wars liberating from dictatorship. What do they mean? Death as liberation from your circus of lies. Everyone is supposed to protect against hacking. Well, start by not hacking yourselves and us. That would remove most of the danger. Whoever downloads illegal files is guilty. But isn't it the job of the police to keep the internet clean? Oh right. Then you couldn't use it anymore to compromise whistleblowers. Because every forbidden file would become proof of hacking, often revealing wars against activists. And aren't we all living in democracies? Everyone may vote for candidates who can afford to be seen. Or who are financed by those who already have more than they need. Or who are supported by those already in power, preventing any real change. That's why we don't vote for programs, we vote for the puppets who can buy or sell themselves into the system. Pray, and it shall be given to you. So war, violence, disease, and more are all God's will? Thousands pray against them, but they never get this for to stay for good. So is this a matrix after all? What a terrible matrix! We don't need war and disease for life to function. We can do what we want without harm and without being harmed. Those who don't understand can come visit, observe, and learn. And live in peace. People only die when they want to try something completely new. But that should be without stress. After all, we want to live. I've never heard anyone say, I want to be sick or I want to be disabled. So God, or Matrix admin, what is this place? According to the Bible, Eden was perfect. Or wasn't it if we weren't supposed to know right from wrong? Maybe an angel followed you and healed everything instantly, making all your mistakes irrelevant. Ask a game developer, they'll tell you this kind of matrix can be built. Whoever defeats the angel of greed like Jacob defeated the angel, shall enter Eden, right? Break the old curses through mutual support. If Medusa couldn't harm any woman, then women should fight for her redemption. Free Atlas by showing where others stepped in when the gods were lazy. Otherwise, the gods would have been cursed by mankind. If they created humans, weren't they also responsible for real peace? And how often did they have to help each other? Isn't it a disgrace to punish those who patched up your lack of responsibility? One more thing. If you set the particles, for example granite, not atomic, but dust particles, in the right vibration, they can be softened and cast into molds, just like we pour concrete today. But beware, the wrong frequency can destabilize the entire area. Massive granite blocks could be poured from multiple containers into one form. No heavy labor required. The right frequency of periodic elements can be calculated to make each substance moldable. But if nearby water starts to vibrate, depending on the tone, it could cause dehydration and deserts or floods. Atlantis. The risk is global, as all water systems are connected. Conclusion: with your talent for global destruction, better don't try it. Just slow down a bit in this school of godhood. Step by step,